In the last video, I mentioned that I would use a slightly different approach in trying to handle the running total with how it interacts with crosstab in order to resolve all of the nulls that appear. Now, a lot of this is going to come from the fact that deep down I'm a database guy. So I think of a lot of these in terms of set arithmetic and other things that are not quite the way that Alteryx is designed to be laid out. Alteryx is a great tool, don't get me wrong. It's very much designed for people who are coming from a different mindset, though. So just a little bit of insight into my craziness. Here is what I would probably do if I were using another tool, and here's how it can map out in Alteryx. So we're still taking in our data from the metals, or the all metals file. We're selecting, and I'm going through to get the metal count, sorting it by country, changing data types, and all of that. However, I want to make sure that I have every possible combination of country and year accounted for. The best way to do that, in my mind at least, is to run a cross join. And what I'm going to do there is I'm going to run a separate select, make a little parallel track, that is only concerned about the country and the year. Then I'm going to run the unique tool to find what every unique country is in our data set and what every unique year is in our data set. Those can be combined together using the append field. Yes, the append field tool, which is how cross joins are handled in Alteryx. And it is worth noting this won't work if you have too many years. I think Alteryx says it has a limit of about 16 or so in the source field, but we have fewer than 16 distinct years, so it's fine. And this cross join will leave us with an output of every combination of country year that is possible in our data set, even if no data appeared there. Once I have that, I will run the actual join command to connect our data that has useful information and numbers in it with every possible country year combination. Once I join those together on country and year, I will run the union tool, because union is how you put joins back together in Alteryx. It doesn't have the straight joining tools that you might be a little more used to from some other databases. And I'm going to combine the overlap or the intersection between them, as well as all of the data on the right, where the right is every possibility, and the join is where a possibility interacted with some data we actually had. Once I have that, I'll run the imputation tool that we've used before and turn any null metal counts into 0. Once I have that, the running total tool will, let me just scroll up a little bit here. Even for years that we had no data, it will have a meaningful metal count, and as a result, a meaningful running total count. It will just have zeros in some of the locations instead of nulls. And once we do that, I'll run the same crosstab tool we did before, but this time we have no nulls anywhere in here. We just have the correct numbers without having to run that chain of ifs that looks at what the previous value is. Now, there's nothing wrong with using the if statements the way that they're structured. It's just that once you get to very large data sets, set operations tend to be more efficient. And since I work with a lot of databases, I've learned to look for set-related optimizations. And that's kind of what's going on in my head right now. It will produce the exact same results if you're doing it correctly, at least. So you absolutely don't have to do it this way. I just wanted to show you an alternative.